Hey everyone, happy Friday. Thanks for joining me for another Fun Fold Friday. It's Patty from pspapercrafts and we're starting a brand new month. I have a new calendar out and our first card is a triple fold card. If you want this calendar, I send it out each month and it's just kind of an inspiration calendar. You can subscribe to my email list and there's a link below and you can get this in your email, along with, promotions from me, from Stampin' Up, a weekly roundup. So today we're making this triple fold cards. I've made this in the past, but I think this is a little bit different. I found a few of them on Pinterest, so I don't know who to give credit to, but it's got the belly band with the label, and then you open it like this. Isn't that pretty? And I love this paper. This is the Painterly Pear paper, and it's, it's not new product, but it's one of my favorites, and I thought it was great for a fall birthday. And I'll just show you real quick what I used. So I used the Perfectly Pears to stamp the pears, and the way I did this was I stamped them in Mossy Meadow, this outline, and then I inked this up and I stamped it on scrap once, which is called stamping off, and then I used a dauber and I just went right on the stamp and stamped a little bit of Timid Tiger to get a little bit of orange, and then I stamped it on the paper. So it's just a way you can always daub some ink to get, a variation of color. And then I colored the leaves with markers. The sentiment is from The Right Words, happy birthday, and then the inside is to someone worth celebrating every single day. One of my favorites. I used some of these low profile sparkle dots, and then of course this paper, which is just gorgeous. So we're going to use brand new product from our new catalog. I hope you've all gotten a chance to look at the catalog. I did send it out to people who ordered from me in the last 6 or 8 months, or I guess 2025. Which is, we're up to 9 months. Wow. So if you didn't get one and you want one, just email me, patty@pspapercrafts.com, and I can get one out to you. I also have it online on my website, www.pspapercrafts.com. You'll see there's a few places that you can click on the online catalog. And then the other thing is we have a ton of new online exclusives, new and old, and they're not in the catalog. So you can go and shop for them, and the way you can do it is if you go to the Stampin' Up website and go to menu, and there's a drop down, shop for products, and then you can choose anything. You can choose, bundles or stamps or embellishments, but you can choose online exclusives, and then it'll take you all through it. So anyway, so that is enough of that, right? These are the products we're using. This is a brand new suite from our new catalog. And this, I think, is a paper from this. And the paper is so pretty. It has a lot of gold accents. And we are going to use this pattern for today, and then this as well for the belly band. So look at all this gold. So pretty. And, it's hard to see in the catalog all the different patterns, but I love our designer series paper. It's my favorite product. Look at all these poinsettias. Do you say poinsettia or poinsettia? Which I had never heard till I joined Stampin' Up and heard other demonstrators say poinsettia. I'm just a poinsettia person. So then there's 2 stamp sets, and we are going to use both. And then there's 2 dies. We're going to use the dies from this for the label, and then there are dies that cut the greenery out, which we're not going to use. And then there's this beautiful, huge embossing folder, and let me just show you. It's huge. It would be I think a 6x6 card front or something. This is 5.5. So it would, it's really neat, but you can do parts of it, and I'm sure you can work with it. And then there's these embellishments. These are called traditional sparkle sequins, very sparkly. And then there's a real red ribbon, and this is a shiny ribbon. I haven't used that yet. So these are the products. Since they're new, I wanted to go through them a little bit. Again, this is the card. I have my pieces started, and what you're going to use is a 5.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. I'm using Real Red, so you only get one card, but that's okay. You'll have leftover to use for other things. So we are going to score this on the 11 side, and we're going to have to open the arm up because we're going to go all the way out to 9 1/4 at some point. So let's put these aside, and we're going to score it at 1 1/4. And I always have a project sheet down below the video if you look at the description. I know it's hard to find, I think maybe on iPads or phones. But underneath the description, there's a whole bunch of links to shop my store, to get the project sheet, to go to my blog. So it has all of the, there's some stuff in there. It has all of the measurements on the project sheet, so you don't have to worry about writing them down. So this is 1 1/4, and then we're going to go out to 5.5. And then we're going to go out to 9 1/4. Okay, and before we put this away, let's do our designer series paper. So the couple of people that I watched, they had us cut this 5 1/4 by 7.5 so that you can cut the pieces in order. But the orders that they showed, I don't think made sense, but I'm hoping I'm going to do this the right way. I did it their way on this card, and I think it's okay. So this kind of goes, right? So it kind of connects, but it doesn't really matter because you're going to open it, and this is over here. It's this, I think, that's important, that these two connect, and that's not how it worked. So we're going to do it a little bit different. Nothing against what they did, and I think they were trying to line it up, the couple of people that I watched, and it didn't line up. So I am going to go with this strip here is 1 by 5.5 or 5 1/4, and then the inside is also 1 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to, so this is 5 1/4. We're going to do 1, and then I'm going to do another 1. Okay, so there's our 1, and then I'm going to do another 1. So 1 by 5 1/4, 1 by 5 1/4. And this doesn't really matter because this paper is kind of, you know, all over, and then it's hidden back here. But I'm going to try it this way, see how I like it. So these go in order, and then this one is 4 by 5 1/4. So this is that inside. Okay, and then this one should be 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. So this is the leftover. Okay, so I am going to try to keep these in order: first, second, third, fourth. All right, and then we have our scoring done. So, and then this is kind of funny. So I'm going to just fold them, and then we'll figure out how it goes after they're folded, because I think this is kind of a struggle. So this is going to go like this. Okay, so you could fold it in half, fold the wider one back, and then the skinny one back over it. So let's get our, and if you fold it wrong, you just fold it the other way, right? It's not the end of the world until you start gluing things down. All right, so this is how it should open, just like this. Okay, so we are going to adhere piece number 1. And we'll see if this works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And, you know, again, it's not like it's going to line up anyway, because it's hidden under here, part of this. So let's just put this down. I'm going to use a liquid glue. And kind of spit out there. And we're just going to put it with a kind of an equal border all around. The liquid glue is a little slick sometimes. Okay, and then we're going to put this on the inside. And I was going to use this back with the belly band, but it looks like it's cherry cobbler and this is real red. And I think these flowers are real red, so I just went with it. I hope this isn't upside down now. I didn't think about that. Oh, this is good. So see, these will match. So it just kind of continues. So this one you're going to put on down next. So I'm going to go with a green belly band, an old olive, and some of the green paper, because they didn't really have a real red pattern to use for the belly band. Okay, and then this is going to be a white piece, and then this gets this last piece. Super easy. Once you have the measurements and you know where to score, most of these cards are easy. Sometimes they're a little tricky, but this one is just, you know, score, cut, and adhere, and you've got it down. But isn't this paper just so pretty? Okay, that's how it's going to look, and then hopefully this will look okay. This is the belly band, and then we're going to put a label on it, and I'm going to ask your opinion on that, although I'm not live, so I can't get your opinion. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is, and I probably should have done this before I put the paper down, I wasn't thinking, we're going to stamp the same color. So this is Mossy Meadow cardstock and Mossy Meadow ink. So you do ink on ink, and it just gives it this cool little look. All right, and I use the pear stamp set for that. So we're going to do it on here, and I do like to stamp before I stick anything down, but I didn't think of it. So we are going to use some of the stamps from the Christmas greenery. I'm going to use this flower and these 2 leaves and then these little dots. And I always like to start with the largest one first. Okay, so when you're it's kind of creating your own background. So I have them all mounted. We're going to start with the flower. Excuse me. And then we're going to use real red on real red. Okay, and I'm going to try not to go past here. I guess I'm going to just try to stay within here. I might go off here, but I'm going to stay within here, and it's going to cover it, so you're not going to see it anyway. So we're going to just get some, let's just make sure this is good. And we're just going to, wow, it looks black. Randomly stamp these. We'll go up there. Okay, then we're going to do the leaves, and I'm just going to keep using the same color just to give it, you can use Versamark as well. That works as well if you don't have the same color ink. And then we'll use this other branch, kind of a pine branch. I feel like I need something big in there. I'm gonna go with this. Another flower. All right, and then we'll use these little dots. And I think these are supposed to be berries. And this is a fun thing to do. I'm not sure I'm digging the red on red, but it might look nice when it's all dry. Where else do we need them? That look good? Let's see how it looks. Oh, that's good. I think that first one just looks a little dark, but we're good. Okay, so now we have kind of our base done. Now we want to do the inside layer, and that one is 3.5 by 5 1/4, and we'll stamp that. So on the outside, I'm doing Merry and Bright, and on the inside, I think I'll do Merry Christmas. You could do season's greeting, 'tis the season, sending love and joy. Maybe I'll do sending love and joy. That looks nice. I didn't mount it. Let's see. I think I'll do sending love and joy. So let me mount that. I am going to stamp it in red and maybe put some greenery below it. So let's see how that's going to fit. Again, you want to stamp before you stick. So let's do that in red. I'm going to have to clean my leafy stamps because they're in green now, or they're in red, and I want to make them in green. My hand has a little bit of glue on it. Sending love and joy. Okay, and then let me get let me just get my thing to clean the green ones. I have ink all over it. Okay, and this one. I really like these greenery pieces. I think they're pretty. Oops, that didn't clean out too good. Red is sometimes a little bit hard. Okay. All right, so let's put that away. Let's get our green back out. And wondering if we should do, let's do some of these sprigs. Maybe we can put berries next to them. Maybe not. I'm thinking these berries. Let me see. Let me clean this off because this is really bad. Look at this. Let's see how this is going to work. I'm not sure about it. Probably should have done these closer together. That's okay. All right, we're good. I might have put these closer together if I was doing it again, but I don't want to waste your time with that. So let's put this down. I'm using my Stampin' Seal Plus. I love this paper. And I love the pink poinsettias in it. That's pretty. Pink poinsettias are really beautiful. It's nice to have a different color than the red and green for Christmas. Okay, let's put this guy together. So I was trying to pick up the green to make it a little bit different. Not sure if I'm crazy about it. I just couldn't find a pattern like this in the real red, and I didn't want to go with cherry cobbler. So we're doing it. So I'm just going to go down here. I think I tend to try to keep all the same colors all the time. Not monochromatic, but just, I don't know. I like to use the patterns that have the same colors in them. I feel like I'm not centered here. And you don't have to put designer series paper on this. You could emboss it, or you could just leave it as a piece of cardstock. So this is going to come like this, okay? And I like to do it right on the belly, right on the card. So we're just going to fold it, and you don't want to make it too tight so that it's difficult to get off, but you also don't want to make it too loose so that it falls off. So it's kind of a feel for it kind of thing. So I'm just going to burnish these, and then we'll put it down. You want a strong adhesive on this, so I am going to use the Seal Plus, and I'll just put a little bit here and then a little bit here. Okay. And then this will come down. Yep, it's a little tight. Let's see if we can pull that up. Wow, it's windy out there today. Okay. Now we're going to cover this with our label. And I cut 2 labels. So I used the dies from the traditional label dies that come with this as a bundle. You could buy them separately, but this is a great die set, isn't it? So I used this large one and then this oval one. And I cut them. I wanted to see, is that too much red or the green? I think I'll do the green and I'll stamp the sentiment in red. What do you think? This is where I need your opinion, but you're not able to tell me. You could leave me a comment which way you would have done it. So I have the Merry and Bright. I kind of wish they were together in one stamp, but this lets you put them as far or as close as you want. So I guess it's a good thing. So I'm going to start with the N Bright. I just like to stamp it and make sure it's all good. So we'll do it right here. And then the Merry. Let's do it. Okay. These are new stamps, so I like to test them out, make sure. Sometimes there's a little, not film, but you need to rough it up a little bit sometimes. So this will go on here, and then we'll put this down. I did not use dimensionals to put it down because I thought it might be too bulky. So we want to just put something down right smack in the middle because we want to be able to open the card. So you want it to sit right on the belly band. Oops, I didn't mean to put it down. There's this edge is up a little bit the way it's die cut. Not sure if I'm crazy about the green on this. There is green in here, but I don't know. What do you think? And then we can put some of these down, these sparkly things, and we could do red or green. I think I'm going to do the red, or you could even do the gold. Maybe we'll do the gold. Okay, let me get my take your pick tool. I'm going to stick with the red. And I'm just going to, so there's 3 sizes. There's the red, the blue, and the green. So what's the blue in here? Let me see. So on the back of the paper and the front of the paper, it's Pool Party. So it's Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, Pool Party, Real Red, Secret Sea, and Gold. That's in this paper pack. So that's Pool Party. I think I'll do the medium size. So these are like sequins, but they have glitter on them. They're very pretty. All right, what do you think? Merry and Bright, Sending Love and Joy. And then put it back in here. And then Happy Birthday to someone worth celebrating every single day. So these are the cards for this week. Next week we'll be making, we're doing the baby white technique. My friend Joan asked me to do that. It's great. It's perfect for fall when you're doing leaves. It's really cool. Probably many of you are familiar with it, but I'll use some new product on that as well. I have my card class out, and let me just show you those cards. I think I have them right here. These are the cards for my September card class that we'll make. This, we're using the Peaceful, can't think of the name of it. This one opens like this. Peaceful Garden, I think, is the name of the suite. So that's out right now to September 10th. You can sign up for that. And then I will be coming out next week with a Christmas stamp-a-stack where you make 16 cards so you can get a head start on your Christmas card making. Okay, so thanks for joining me. Give me a thumbs up if you like this, and I will see you next Friday.